Melbourne in the house.
It's good, brother.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Very good.
Damn. What have you been up to, bro?
Lately, just been working on music. I think I'm pushing harder than ever at the moment, so I'm on a roll. I'm just working. Loving where I'm at the moment. Just doing the same thing, you know, music. So I'm in a good place at the moment.
Damn, bro. You guys just got out of that lockdown. How was that?
The lockdown worked in my favour, actually. It was a good time to write. I guess for a musician, it's that time where you get to be alone most of the time. So like you can either look at it two ways. Obviously, lockdown and get all sad and depressed about it, or as a musician, everyone was putting the pen to the paper, so it was good for me.
So it didn't slow you down in any sort of way?
Personally, yeah. Obviously, a lot of lockdown conditions that we had, but for music, it was kind of better for me.
100. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's give us a bit of backstory of who you are. You obviously grew up in Crampton.
Yeah, the 7.
Yeah.
Original 7.
So give us for people not familiar with Melbourne yet.
Yep.
Run us back.
I was raised here in Melbourne, obviously, hence the name. And with me, I represent everything I come from, everything, you know, the background of my culture, my country, birthplace, Samoa. So the name came from obviously being proud to be from the city. And I was raised in Cranbourne. You know, a lot of my people went to New Zealand. Majority of my people went to New Zealand. I was fortunate enough to be raised here in the best country in the world. So I can't complain. And obviously Cranbourne was the place that brought me up. And that's the place I represent now in my music.
What was it like growing up back in them days, in the early days in Cranbourne?
I've heard a lot of stories, but when you're raised and you've come where like my family was the first Polynesians, or like the main Polynesians in the 7. That's why we hold it so close to heart. It was home. I guess now everyone looks at your home at the worst places, you know, they hear all the news and that. But when it's home, it's home. You know, home is always home. So I can't say nothing bad about the place. You know.
Right. So did you start doing music as soon as you touched down in Cranbourne back in the day, or what did you?
I think music is not only been a part of my life, but my culture. Being Samoan, you know, singers and rappers and that. But back in the day, you know, I'm an old head compared to a lot of artists now. It wasn't cool to rap. I was writing low key in that, and rapping here and there, but it wasn't a thing. Like, if you rapped back in that day, everyone thought you're like, why do you think you're from America? That was the type of shit that we were getting. So, but music was always part of my life, and I loved it.
So what year did you start rapping like?
My age, I was probably like 15, I reckon. High school, 15. But like I said, rap wasn't a big thing, so I kept it low key. But 15 was the age I started, yeah.
Nice. So like you rapping back then since you're 15, you must have been the only person like kind of doing the music thing, right?
Amongst my friends and the people I knew, I felt like I was. But then like all the boys and that, you know, got around it, and it became a thing. You know, we used to rap battles like the kids do in primary school and in high school, and I just stuck with it. Something I loved, and that's what, you know, is the difference between me and everyone else. That I love this shit. So
you must have been like getting a bit of criticism, right?
Yeah, as it does, especially in this genre.
Yeah.
Bro, everyone has a say on what you do. You know.
I mean, like, obviously you're a pioneer, you know, because you've been doing it since you were young and stuff.
Yeah, I like to think so.
And being like the only one, you know, doing it around, everyone just had something to say, I would imagine, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't the cool thing, and when I actually thought, you know what, I love to do it, fuck what everyone else, everyone's doing what they love to do, so I thought I'd do what I love to do. And at first I didn't get much attention, but I was just like, oh, it's like a hobby kind of thing. Like, people play basketball, people play this and that, you know, and this was my sport.
Right. And when you started, sorry to cut you off, when you started, what was your inspirations? Like, who did you listen to? Like,
I wasn't, like I said, wasn't big here, especially in this country. It was hip hop and rap wasn't big in this country, so a lot of my influence was from America, obviously. So that's what motivated me.
Right. Yeah. Because we interviewed one of the boys back in Sydney.
Yeah.
Big Cash. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah. he said similar things to what you said, you know. And when he started, he rapped in American accent.
Yeah.
Because that's what he grew up listening to.
100%.
And he got heaps of clapback from that.
Yeah, I expected that to happen to him too.
Yeah.
So I got the same thing, yeah.
You would have went through that, right?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, when your inspiration comes from, and you just start, you're kind of slowly finding your feet. So when you're inspired by that country, the only thing you're going to implement into your music is the accent. And it's a big deal nowadays, but fuck, to me, it's like, that's kiddie shit. Like when people are talking about accents, I don't give a fuck. That's not even a thing. I've got bigger things to worry about. Accents is the least of my problems, you know.
So how are you managing to deal with that hate when they're like, oh, accent this, accent that?
Yeah. And I get a lot of it even this day, bro. You know, I thought it would pass over, but even to this day, I don't deal with it. I just let them fucking talk this shit. Like I said, I've got bigger problems in my life than worrying about what accent to choose. And even if I was to go back and I feel like a beat tells me to rap over it in an accent of the Americans, I'll do the same thing. I'll fuck, if I could implement another accent in it, I'd do the same thing. Whatever I feel, I'll do it. So the public don't really have a say on my music. I don't really give a shit.
Right. So like, were there any peers like back, because like being the only one, right?
Yeah.
Like down the line, were there any other rappers rapping from Mlbrn where you grew up?
There wasn't. Like I said, me and the boys, like just for fun. But when I come out, not just Mlbrn, anyone from the southeast, to be honest, anyone from Melbourne wasn't doing it back when I was doing it. So I think that's where a lot of hate. Everyone just thought I was a sick cunt. I named myself Mlbrn. Everyone just thought, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Giving him that name. I don't know where the hate comes from, but yeah, it was no one doing it where I was from.
Yeah, because we got a guy named Elijah. You heard of Elijah? Yeah. We kind of got into you through him. He was sharing your stuff back in the day and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you done any work with him?
Nah, I haven't done it. Like I said, I appreciate his music though. I think he just moved to the UK recently. But yeah, a big fan of his too, you know. One of the few that I rate lyric-wise, you know. Nowadays, it's not about the lyrics, but I'll give credit to anyone who's skilled on that level.
Right. Well, what did you want it to inspire? Like, you wanted to send out when you started rapping? When
I started and where I'm at now is different. I'm on two different spaces now where I'm at. Where I started, I was all about chasing dreams. I was real like, you know what? Like, there was no one from this country making it big. This was the opportunity for me. That was where my head was at when I started. But now, it's changed. Like for me, I kind of just want to, I don't know, resemble like a character that someone can look up to that like doesn't give a fuck about no one. Going against all odds, hated the worst, you know, and just prevailing and taking that, regardless of what the L's he took, you know, to keep going. So that's my motivation for people, regardless of what situation they're in.
Because when I hear music, I hear motivation, I hear pain, and I hear betrayal.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I'm glad that you hear that, because that was my intentions. I've come from a lot of stories and a lot of shit that's happened. I guess I can't rap about anything that I haven't gone through. So when some cunts tell me to rap about something, or you should do a song about this and that, or whatever it is they want me to do a song about, I have to go through that shit. So that's where all my music comes from, my experience. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
So like with the songs that you made, is there like one that stands out the most from?
My earlier days, if I could bring that music, when I've done it in the accent, like just about pushing through and trying to chase a dream as a kid, those would probably be my favourites. And I was real intelligent with my lyrics back then too. Nowadays, I kind of lacked off. I feel I don't have to be that skillful anymore, because like in the industry now it's different. But my favourites will have to be my earlier days music, you know.
When did you make Outro?
When?
Yeah.
It was when I took a break. So Outro was me pretty much chucking my emotions and my feelings on a song, saying, you know what, after everything I've been through, fuck this, it's not worth it, you know. All the music got me all the hate, you know. And artists don't really experience that, but I had to deal with that. Not even social media shit. It's real life shit that I went through, you know. It wasn't good for me, my circle, or my family. So I was like, you know, it's not worth it. I took a step back, and then I was just like, bro, fuck this, you know. This is my passion, bro. I love this shit. How can someone else tell me how to live my life?
Right. So you were kind of discouraged, right?
I was. And finding myself, I was very discouraged. And I was weighing out my options and priorities and importance in my life. And music just wasn't doing anything for me at the time. So why was I giving it my all, you know?
So you felt like, fuck this, like music is only bringing me hate.
That's it.
You know, while going through personal stuff as
100%,
well.
100%. And then my personal stuff got included in the music, and then all these stories went around about me, and then I was like, you know, fuck this, you know. I didn't sign up for this. I wanted to crack it, you know. I wanted to feed my family, feed my circle. That was my intention. So when other bullshit came on, I was like, I wasn't ready for that. So I was like, fuck this.
What kind of like struggles were you going through, like in your actual real lifestyle, beside the hate that comes from music?
Yeah. I think like my circle turned, characters changed. People viewed me as someone that I thought I wasn't that. Like they viewed me on a bigger scale, and I think a lot of my boys thought I changed in ways where, you know, it wasn't good for them or wasn't good for me, so they left. There's a lot into detail with like my circle and how we brought up, but it was real gritty. Like my own circle turned, you know.
So you felt like they had like a false perception of you, because you were chasing your dreams, you were kind of getting attention from it.
Yes.
So you focused on it, and they felt like you were turning your back on them.
Yeah. It was like that. It was kind of, I feel in a way it was kind of like that. Obviously there was other personal issues in the matter, but it was like that. I felt like they thought I was changing, you know. And to be real with like my boys, this is my closest circle, and I had a real close circle. My circle was small, and I thought it couldn't get any smaller. That was the problem, but it chopped and it got even smaller than that. So
what was your mental state at while going through that? Like your boys turning on you, and you know?
I was alright, you know. Me and my brothers are real close, and I was thankful for that. Me and my blood brothers, my actual brothers, you know. So my family really played a part in my healing. But it wasn't like I was bad, but like I always feel like I'm capable of whatever gets pushed to me. So I was alright. I wasn't too bad.
So to correct me if I'm wrong, like I've heard a song called Brotherhood, Part 2.
Yep.
And the lyrics on it were kind of like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Would it be correct to say that during that time you're going through that exact thing?
100%. And that song wasn't one I really like pushed out. I kind of just wanted to keep it for myself, but it was my circle at the time that encouraged me, like, bro, people need to hear this, because you never know, some other cunt's probably going through the same thing, you can inspire them. So I pushed it out, but I didn't really give it much promo, you know. I just pushed it out on my SoundCloud, I think it was. So not many people know about it, but that's exactly what I went through. Probably that song really hit, that's probably the most closest to my heart, you know.
Because when I heard it, I'm like, it sounds like, in your lyrics, it sounds like you didn't want to do it really.
Yeah.
But then you're like, man, like when you were rapping, it kind of like you got sick of it. It felt like it was someone really close to you.
Yes.
Even when you're rapping, you're not really criticizing the person.
Yeah.
But you're just like explaining your story and how it hurt you were feeling 100%. At the time.
And it's kind of like, at the same time when I was making it, I didn't want to put on anyone's show, because I felt like I knew exactly how it felt to be put on show by all these cunts. Even if they did put me on show, these exact guys I was talking about, you know, these were my best mates, or this was my best mate, you know. And for someone to put me on show like that, I felt like I'm not going to do that to him, but at the same way, improvise my music in it, and that's what I did. And I was very happy with the track. The track really hit home, like I said. And even though not many people know about it, it's a track I really hold close, you know.
I mean, you did it in a mature way, actually, you know.
Yeah, appreciate
the way you released it. It wasn't like dragging on anything. It was just sorting out that, and it's kind of like expressing what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You even touched one of the lyrics, if I'm wrong, just correct me.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you were one of your daughter's godfather.
My daughter's godfather, yeah. So that's how close, I'm telling you, that's how close it was. You know what I mean? My best mate helped me raise my little brothers, you know, in school and that. This was my right hand, and vice versa, I was his, you know. Pretty much blood we turned into. And for it to go south like that, not many people experience that, brother. But like, I was happy to, I'm glad you felt that way, because that's how I wanted to project it. I didn't want to project it as if these cunts are dogs and that. I wanted to project it as if, bro, we're in a good place, but like I couldn't believe that shit happened to me, you know? That's where I was at.
And where is that at now? Is that relationship sorted, or is that still part ways?
Nah, it's not. And that's a shit go, because, brother, with me, everything, all my problems they aren't made by me. Everyone thinks I'm chasing this clout, this imaginary. I don't do that. So every issue, every beef I have has always come from the other side. Me, because I'm focused on this. I've had enough of that. But some cunt always wants to start me for some reason. I don't know why it's me, but that's why I like to refer to myself as the most hated rapper, and I take pride in that. You know, against all odds.
Why do you think people just hate on you? Do you think they pick on you because you don't really get involved in that kind of drama stuff, so they feel like you're an easy target to throw dirt at?
Yeah, it's a good question. I felt like there was a video that trended of me getting beat by my, and it wasn't HP. I want to drop that because they own up to it and they haven't said much about it. But it wasn't HP. All those dogs who were talking about it, HP jumped out this and that. It wasn't that. Those boys were my best mates. Those were my circle. Shit happened. I met up with them. There was my best mate and his cousin and his family. I told him, you do whatever you want, and after this, I'll wipe my hands clean, and nothing will happen after this. Like I said, there's other details in it, but I don't know why I'm the target. And not even just that. There's other crews, other rappers still targeting me. I don't have a clue. But all I know is that, you know, when you're doing something right, there's always going to be a target on your head. And that's all I roll with.
Right. Is that the video that you put at the start of That's Rap?
That's the one, yeah.
Is that the one?
Like I said, yeah, and I mentioned it in my story on Instagram just recently, is like all these L's I take, I try and improvise, and I turn them into dubs, and that's the difference with me. I don't sit and whinge about it. I fucking make it what it is. And even if they try and put me on show, I can adapt to that, you know what I mean?
I mean, you kind of owned up to it, you know? You took a loss, even though, like, obviously you the mature one, you know, because you're outnumbered and stuff,
Appreciate
you know?
that, brother. And
people were like, oh, this guy got, like, you know, people thought it was a one-on-one, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, obviously it wasn't, you know?
It wasn't. I didn't, and these were my boys, like, you know, in my sense, I can't touch this guy, regardless, even if he did wrong to me, I couldn't do, that's not in my heart. Obviously, these guys have different hearts than me, and that's where I went to. But I just want to make it clear on DME TV, HP did not touch me. They haven't touched me, and this was coming from my old circle. Just to clear that up, because there's a lot of people in the comments saying, brother, you got done by HP, and they're not owning up to it. I just want to make it clear here.
And like when we came to interview them last time,
yep,
we kind of like, cause like when the video came out, went viral stuff,
yep,
and everyone was like, oh, HP and Mlbrn 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Like we actually thought it was the HP Boyz that done it. So when we came to Melbourne to interview them and kind of like brought up the situation, it was kind of like brushed under the carpet.
100%.
So we never got like a clear answer.
And the thing is, not even with DME, it's with all the other people that are doing the similar stuff that you're doing with Jade. They got asked these questions, you know, what happened between you and Mlbrn, and it's always, they don't have anything to say. Why? Because they can't say anything. That's the thing. That's why they keep brushing it. But the thing about me is that why I'm a bit shitty at is that the fact that, bro, if you didn't do it, then just say you didn't do it. You know what I mean? Don't no comment the thing, because now everyone thinks this, and that's exactly what they want. But that's why I'm here to make a statement, make it clear, write in remarks that this is not it. That they didn't do that. That was my old circle that jumped me. And I say jump because I didn't fight back, because that was my boys. Their hearts were different.
So, like, do you feel like they were kind of like gaining the attention from it without saying, like, without them not owning up to it? It felt like people just gave them the W. Yeah. So, like, they were gaining more clout off it. Yeah. By getting away with people thinking that they done it.
At the same time, they were popping off more than they had one track and they popped off from there. So I don't think it was kind of like the clout chasing, because they had enough attention. If any, that's why everyone looks at me to be the clout chaser, because I'm the nobody. I'm the one trying to start beef, trying to get gain from their clout. But it wasn't that. These guys are the ones talking it, and I'm just the one stating that it wasn't them. You know what I mean? And I don't understand. Like, and I don't even think they understand why they hate, because obviously that's the reason why they brush it under the rug, you know?
And like, you were rapping before Hp Boyz, right?
Yeah.
So you had more attention than them initially, like you know?
Before their first single, obviously after their first single they blew up, but before their first single, 100%, I was the talks of everyone, and because Cranny's here and HP is there, and we're the biggest fob communities in the Southeast or in Melbourne, you know, we knew everyone's bizzo. So if I was the one popping off back in the day, not even popping off, but like doing something with music, these guys would have known about it. Oh, they did. There's been plenty of times where we've come together, we had a drink and we'd be rapping and that. So it's proof. It's 100% facts.
I mean, you were rapping for a while before they kind of blew up, so they definitely would have known about you.
100% they did. And I grew up with these guys before, so they're 100% they knew.
So to clear it up, then how did that issue between you and them start?
I have not. That's the thing. A lot of people ask me, and I'm not the ones to push it under the rug, because I'm the one here that has to deal with it. You know what I mean? The question has to be on their side. So if you want to know, or anyone for that matter, that interviews me, wants to know what's the issue, it's something I can't tell you because I didn't come with the issue. HP did. You know what I mean? So, and they keep putting it on the rug, but they're the ones that have to have the answers because they're the ones that started the issue.
Do you feel like it was a bit of envy? Out of envy?
And it wasn't from all of them, I'll tell you now that. Like, it wasn't from all of them. There was one specific one in the group that just, I felt like he envied. I don't know if it was envy or whatever, but there was an issue that I still, to this day, don't know about.
And how did you feel like after them blowing up after one track? Do you feel like you're like, man, I've been grinding for years.
Yeah.
And this guy drop a track and they kind of go viral and now they got all that attention. How did you feel?
That's a good question because a lot of people thought, you know, fuck, this guy must be really been put in the dirt after shit like that. But I didn't feel, to me, I run my own race. And that's the difference is people don't understand that. I'm not here in competition with anyone. To me, I feel like I'm the shit still, regardless of 5 views or 100,000 or a mil. That's how I feel, and nothing can break that. So like, everyone thought you're just angry because, you know, you're starting this because of they blew up with one song, but that's fine. Like, I'll give credit to them, if anything. But I'm doing my own shit. I'm not worried about that shit. But big ups to them, you know what I mean? Yeah, we go for it, fucking hate them. But fuck, yeah, that's their race. That's how it was panned out to be. I see my journey and I just make it a better story to tell and I'll make it, you know.
I mean, judging from your character but how you carry yourself on social media, it doesn't look like you really envy others' success, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're in your own lane type of shit. And yeah. It's like...
one thing I can put to my name is that I've been here before most of these rappers, you know what I mean? Before the 1-4, big ups to 1-4, before anyone popped off, you know? I wasn't popping off, but I was well enough that everyone knew about me. I could tell you now, like, the rappers that you know popped off now, they knew about me before, whether you're in Sydney or anywhere. So that, I'll take pride to my name. And like you said, I'm the underdog and I love it. I love it. That's what keeps me driving. That's what keeps me working.
So you're from Victoria but not bitter.
That's it, brother. I don't worry about no one else. I just do myself, and that's how it got me here. After all these years, that's how I'm still here.
Right. We'll pause on the beat for a sec.
Yeah.
You ran into some law enforcement issues, right?
Yeah.
You went and got locked up for a bit.
Yeah.
What was the story behind that?
I mixed up with I made some boys, mixed up with a crowd. We're just doing what we like to do, and we just fell into it was the wrong siege. I was at the place at the wrong time, you know. But that's what I got done for. I'm happy I'm out on bail now, but you know, obviously I can't discuss more about that. But it is what it is, you know.
So it's just like wrong place, wrong time type of
kind situation. Of like I was always into it, but you know, it was one of those things where it's like I don't regret it, but like I could have made better decisions in life, you know. Like this is when I stopped music, you know what I mean? So like I did the outro, I stopped music, I handled business for a bit, and then I thought, you know what, fuck, I saw where my life was going, and I was like, bro, the old me would never have been like this. Let's get back to the old me. So that's where I'm at right now.
So outro was your last track of like frustration in the music?
Yeah.
Because music was bringing nothing but hate?
Yeah.
So you went back to a life that you thought was, you know?
Yeah, let's just say like I took that frustration out different ways outside of music, and then that did the time. I got bailed out. I'm suffering. That's what it is. It's suffering, bro. Because at the end of the day, no one wants to be in there. Everyone wants to win out here. The worst thing is, I feel like I'm just about to start my journey again. And then I have to face time, so it's a setback and a half, you know what I mean?
Explain to people who've never been locked up what that feeling is, really being in jail.
Yeah, everyone's different. And I see that with a lot of different people, a lot of different artists do time in that. Everyone comes out either, you know, buckled or, you know, better, or like everyone has their own experience in jail. To me, I fucking hated it. I don't give a fuck who thinks it's hard or whatnot. I fucking hate that shit. And because I got kids, makes it even worse, bro. Or if something happens to my kids, well, I'm inside and something happens to my kids, that'll be the worst to me, bro. So I couldn't live with that. You know what I mean? It's putrid in there. I don't know who the fuck thinks it's gangster inside fucking jail. Jail is the lowest of all lows, bro. That's the worst. And now I'm trying to get on track where I don't have to go there no more. Fuck that shit.
Do you have any jail stories that you like to share? Funny ones?
I was in a yard with all my boys, fortunately. So there's stories, but there wasn't much to tell. I wasn't in there for too long either, to be straight with you. I think I've done like 4 or 5 months, but that's about it. And then I saw bail, which was fortunate for me. So not many stories in there that anyone can laugh about, just like myself, if you know me and you know my boys, you know.
So when you came out, you released Bars from Prison.
Yeah.
Was that the first track you dropped as soon as you got out?
Yeah. Obviously, I wrote that in prison, and that's the only thing that kept me sane. Like, we did lockdown and quarantine for 2 weeks in a cell. And to come and do no time at all, to get chucked in a cell for 2 weeks by yourself, with no one, I had no numbers, so no communication to my family. I was fucking cooked in there. I was losing my shit. The only thing I could do was fucking write, and that's what I did. And that's where Bars from Prison came from.
So you went from being locked down in COVID to being in jail, or was it from jail to being locked down?
Yeah, right. When I came out of jail, I was still going through lockdown, so I was like, fuck, I should have just done my time already, you know, I'd probably be alright. Because in jail now, because of the COVID, everyone gets locked down early, so now it's like 1 day counts for 2. So it would have helped me even more, but, you know, I was fortunate and blessed to be out with my family at this time, you know.
Because when I heard that song, I heard a lot of frustration.
There was. Yeah, Bars from Prison wasn't a good thing. And it was just my anger and like, I was just it was a lot of time to reflect on what I've been through. And there was frustration, obviously. And just, I don't know, just life in general, you just think about it. And no one understands it until so a lot of these people talk online and that, but you can never talk until you've been there. That's the thing.
Right. So Bars from Prison was like your entry back to the music.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad I started off with that because it was literally just bars from prison. Literally just bars. So I was chucking out, I don't even care about the bars. It was just like my personal shit. And it started my journey up again. And then after that, I dropped another one, This and That, straight after. So I was kind of feeling it right now. And then
Yeah. This and That had like kind of like a happy vibe to it.
Yeah. It was mad because, it was a bit jumpy. The tempo was a lot more different. And people thought I was only about bars, you know. He can't make a hook. He can't make anything that's catchy, you know. So I have a lot to prove. I don't have a lot to prove, but like to myself. I just thought, bro, these guys think they know me. They don't know what level I'm on. And so that's why I thought, let's make something jumpy. Let's make something vibey, catchy. And that's where This and That came out. And I done it right. I'm still doing it right.
Yeah, but it was like a good vibe music, you know. Yeah. When I listened to it, it was like, you know, good times. It felt like your headspace was like heading back to the right place. Yeah,
yeah. I felt like I can't get any lower than jail, you know what I mean? You can't get any lower than prison, bro. If you've been to prison, like, you can withstand anything, you know? And so that's what I felt like, bro. I spoke about that, so let's get on to the happier vibes, and that's what we did.
Right. And your recent song, Side Bitch.
Side Bitch, yeah. You
released that after This and That?
Yeah, that was the next one after that. It was a bit of a wait, but because of the lockdown of this corona bullshit, I had to wait. And so I finally got that out, and it's doing good numbers as well. Good response.
For everyone that will be wondering, how did the name come about? Side Bitch?
Everyone thought like, you know, obviously it was a bitch on the side, but obviously it wasn't that. It was just like my side piece. That's what we're calling it. I'll get the side bitch, you know. That's what it was. And that's what we're rapping about. At the same time, I thought it was kind of smart in a way. You know, side bitch, everyone thought I was going to talk about the issue that happened before. But no, it was about the piece. So.
Because I actually thought it was like about a girl.
Yeah, that's what everyone thought. But that's what everyone thought. And that's why I was happy that everyone thought that, because, you know, it was different. As soon as it came out, they're like, I know what it's talking about now.
I've also noticed that you deleted all your old music off your YouTube, man.
Yeah.
What was the motive behind that?
I felt like I'm just getting started again, you know. I felt like I was at a new beginning. I went through heaps of shit, and I just felt like this is where it's picking off. Obviously, my old shit was American accent. Obviously, I'm trying to push where I'm from. This is my country, you know. So I'm obviously trying to push this accent, and that's where it started off. Those videos I still have, but those are only for me, you know. I'll just keep them and, you know, take a trip down memory lane and kind of see where I started to get me back on track. But yeah, I took them off for the public.
So it was like a reset move.
Kind of, yeah, pretty much.
And you change your accent from what you were doing in the past to Aussie now.
Yeah. I think like it's the influences here, you know. It's obviously, you know, everyone that's come up has inspired me locally, and that's why I changed. And like I was always about like representing my culture, you know, where I'm from, my country. So like it was only right. I like the way I sound in this, my accent. So that's where it started.
How do you feel? Because you might get some critics that'll be like, oh, why did Melbourne change from who he was originally rapping his own accent and now he wants to bring it back to Aussie?
Yeah.
Do you feel like they'll think that you like trying to ride the wave that's happening now?
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, yeah, fucking hope I'm riding the wave, you know. Australia is a fucking wave, and it's the spotlight of rap in the whole world is on Australia right now. So only thing right, if I'm representing, I call myself Melbourne, if I'm representing everything I stand for, my country, my city, whatever, obviously it's time to push that. So that's what I did. The American accent was obviously an influence from overseas, back when no one was starting it. And once this kicked off and the wave happened with the whole Aussie hip-hop scene, that's where I did it.
So you must be happy knowing where the scene is at and how far it came.
Fucking oath, 100%. Real happy. Like I said, I couldn't be any happier. And that's another reason that's inspired me to come back, you know. Bro, like, I've done it for so long, it's kicking off now, why would I not do it? It's a bit silly to me.
Right. Do you ever feel like you're underrated, bro?
A lot of times. And a lot of times I keep my mouth shut because of all the heat, you know. With me, it's a real sticky situation. I've got to pick and choose what to say. But as I get more involved in the whole scene again, I'm starting to not give a fuck again. But that's why I kind of feel that's why people hated me. I was real like, I'm going to crack at you guys the shit back in the day. And now I feel like I'm getting that attitude back for some reason. I'm just sick of, you know, dirt thrown on my name.
Do you feel like you being humble and always doing shit like the mature way?
Yeah.
You feel like shit just goes past you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, because I feel like these days, the more out there you are, the more you're always talking shit online, the more people will get to see your stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, you don't really do that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that plays a part? People are not focusing on what you really do?
My upbringing and my culture is real frowned upon to like think you're better than anyone else at anything. Like that's how I was raised. You know, the humble card is what everyone needed to be. You know, if you're humble, you're a sick cunt. If you're cocky, and obviously no one likes you. But in this genre, in rap, it was made off that shit. You know what I mean? Where it started, bro, everyone was talking this shit. I'm better. I'm a better MC. But that's where it all began. So like it's a real sticky situation. But like at the same time, like I said, I'm starting not to give a fuck, and I feel like heaps of people feel like I'm underrated. I don't like to say it a lot, but I feel like that in my own head. Yeah, 100%.
Right. Is there any artists like right now within Australia that you like to work with?
There's heaps, and it's only because like I never rated back when I started. Like obviously I didn't rate no one because no one was out. Nowadays is a different thing because everyone's out now. So obviously I rate heaps of cunts. Obviously 1-4, you know, Hefs, anyone that I fuck with, that I listen to, Mussy, Big Cash, you know, all of them.
What's your take on Big Cash's his characteristics?
I like the cunt. I'll talk to the cunt before because back when I was making music at the start when no one was, he was on the side as well. He was doing his thing too. So I already knew him from before. We were already in the talks. But I got love for him. Like he's a character in itself. But he knows what he's doing. And I tell you now, any cunt in his position would have buckled, you know. And I'll give respect to him in that sense. But I don't know him from a bar of soap like that. But what he's done and what I see, yeah, I can appreciate what he's doing.
Right. And how did you feel when all that allegations came out about him being whatever they were calling him?
Yeah.
Like a rap.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. To me, the thing with me, because of everything I've been through, I don't talk on shit that that I have no idea about. And because a lot of people have talked on my name and have no idea about me, it's opened up that mentality for me to be like, bro, if I don't know this cunt, how the fuck can you ask? You know what I mean? Not just you, I'm talking about everyone. Everyone asks me, or everyone has that aspect, you know? Oh yeah, this guy thinks he's that because of what they see. I'm already like I'm already mature enough to understand, like, if I don't know this cunt, how can I speak on his name? I don't know his story. I don't know him from, like I said, I don't know him from Bar Soap. So I just know, and what I have seen, I appreciate what he's done for the culture, for himself. He's a hard cunt, you know.
So you kind of like relate to him in like a personal level, copping heat without people really knowing the backstory.
And I always do, because it's so easy nowadays to have so much to talk about some kind, and you have no idea, because I've been on the other side of that shit. So for someone to ask about my take on him, it doesn't really matter to me, like, you know what I mean? I can't speak on someone, you know, I can't speak on someone because I don't know what he went through. Like, can't speak on me because they don't know what the fuck I've been through as well, you know?
Right. Nah, yeah, but I can agree. So where's your headspace at now, bro? Obviously, just, you know what I mean, taking it serious again in the music industry.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's good. I'm in a good place. I'm with a good team. Obviously, shout out to Sloppy Productions and all the team that's come through this studio. Got Scorp and that doing his thing. You know, I'm with a good bunch of blokes, so I got the momentum to keep going. Personally, I'm alright. Everything's alright, you know. I'm just worried about the case, obviously, but that's all my dilemmas, nothing else, you know.
Right. So you got anything in the works at the moment? Like, obviously we're in the studio, so you're cooking.
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
Know? Have you got anything like ready to drop anytime soon?
Yeah. So tonight, which will probably be there, I'm shooting another video. We just released Side Beach, but now we're going to come out with another one. Single. It's called Proper, and then I got a feature. I don't feature with a lot of people. I don't rate much people, but this kind I do fuck with. His name's Filler, so we got a feature going on after that, and hopefully get that out after Proper.
Right. And recently, bro, obviously Instagram doesn't hide anything, you know. There was a video going viral of you having an incident with another guy from another group.
Yeah.
DME.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the backstory behind that?
To me, to be honest with you, if I'm telling my story, this is how I saw it. I saw was in the comments on this other video that went viral, talking shit. I DM'd him like a man, and I go, "Oh, what's the issue, bro? You don't know me, I don't know you. So why do you have so much to say about me?" And his reply was, "You're a fraud." That's what he said to me. But I don't know this come from a bar of soap. Fuck, and I was just like, "What the fuck? All right, we're on the same show. You're about to come to my hood, my area, and we're about to be on the same lineup. So I'll see you then." And he seen me, and then like you know, I knew a lot of people included in the show had a lot to do with it, so I had to maintain myself. But I don't know, I was on the piss that time. I sat there and I was like, how can this cunt come to my area, talk shit to me, says I'm a fraud, and leave without me any confrontation? You know what I mean? The old me would have been like, yeah, it's alright, fuck it, you know what I mean? But the new me, I'm like, fuck this cunt, man. Who the fuck does this cunt think he is, you know? I couldn't not do anything. It would just make me feel like a shit cunt again. You know what I mean? And so like I called him. I said, let's go have a chat. He didn't come out. And then obviously, so in person, I knew, all right, I judged, all right, you're not gonna come out. I don't take it serious. And then it made it even worse as it went back online after that and started talking the same shit. Like, again, it doesn't come from me. The beef only comes from someone else. So when I saw him talk shit, I approached him in person, nothing happened, and he went back to talking shit. I didn't get it, but fuck, it's not me.
Because the video, it doesn't seem like there was any punches thrown or anything.
Nothing. Because at the start, I just came up to him. He was behind stage, VIP. I said, come, let's have a chat. And he said, what? A few times. I said, let's have a chat. Let's have a crack. You want to go? We'll have a crack outside. So he made his way, and then he took his time. And then by the time he got to me, everyone saw me, you know, bridging up. So then obviously everyone got between, and then it was dumb shit. And to be honest, now I look at it, I shouldn't have. But like at the same time, I don't know. I'm on the fence because like, fuck, how are you going to talk shit, come to my ends, and then not leave with anything? Even though I felt like it was nothing, but fuck.
So you felt like, man, I can't be this humble, you know?
Yeah, like, bro, and there's too many times I fucking turned the other cheek, bro, you know, for cunts. Too many cunts have spat on my name, bro, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I understand I should be like, yeah, a bigger man. Everyone saw, bro, you're a pussy. You should have been a bigger man. Everyone expects the bigger man from me, but fuck, I'm only human, you know what I mean? How many times can I produce this bigger man and then I'll go home and inside of me, I'm fighting with myself like, fuck, I didn't do shit. You know, it's... People don't get this. They don't have to go through this. I have to deal with that.
I mean, every now and then, but you kind of have to, you know, protect your name somehow, you know?
100%. And if you ask my boys, I'm always the one that will kill any beef. Like, bro, it's not worth it, not this. But obviously, you know, like, I don't know. My headspace is different now. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this cunt, you know?
Right.
That's where I was at.
So that situation is just sorted, right?
It's nothing now. And to be honest, I don't pay no mind anymore. Bro, cunts that doing millions of views, you know what I mean? Speaking on me, I feel privileged. Like, who the fuck am I? If you're going to talk shit about me and give me more followers, all right, happy days for me, but fuck, dumb cunts. Like, why would you do that? Like, if I was at 1 million views, I'll pay no mind to cunt that can't benefit my career. But if they want to pay mind to me, fuck, I'm winning.
I mean, but it could... I mean, you've been around for a minute, you know? You might have inspired them, you know?
Yeah. I feel like in ways... And there was other cunts in the group that was like, you know, we exchanged like, yeah, we rate you this and that. I was like, you're mad, all right. But then there's always that one cunt that has to fucking ruin everything. I don't understand, you know? Right. I don't get it.
All the beef is out. Mlbrn doesn't have beef for no one. Can we confirm that?
Bro, like I said on the whole interview, the shit doesn't start with me. If they can benefit my career with this beef, then I might take a hit like I did like before with NME. If they can benefit me, fucking oath I'm going to do that. Let me tell you something. I was at 16K, like I told Score. I was at 16K before that shit. I didn't think any videos were taken, but a video got leaked. Someone was recording it, obviously. And now I'm sitting at 18. That's a benefit, if not anything. You know what I mean? I fucking won.
I mean, people get a high from that, but you know? But it seems like you're not really trying to chase that, you know?
Yeah, I'm not chasing it for that. But at the same time, like, it plays a part in my decision to fight. Like, should I let this cunt go? You know, it plays a part. You know what? If I do this, you know, I didn't think anyone was going to record it, but it happened. You know, and it helped out for me. For him, he lost because he didn't benefit anything.
Because I reckon if you're someone else, you'd have been like, yeah, I'm getting followers off this beef. Let me keep pumping into it.
That wasn't my intentions at start. But when the video trended and I was getting it, I was like, oh, maybe it worked out in the end.
Right. Yeah. So now you just focus on music.
That's always been my focus, brother. I've always been about music. All this beef shit, to be honest with you, it's a waste of my time. Like I said, but if it pays me, if it benefits me in any way, I might take into it. But other than that, all these other fucking nobodies that want to beef with me, it's a shut door for them, you know.
Right. Besides you and Hp Boyz in Mlbrn, what other rappers can we look out for?
Filler. I don't know if he's melodic kind of, but Filler is the guy you want to look out for. Big respect, that's my boy. There's so many. RDS from Cranbourne, repping the 7. Obviously, you have to show love for them because the youngins coming up. New drill group coming out, so big ups to them. But other than that, not much else. I know there's heaps of potential here, but they just haven't come out yet. Jai Simpson, actually, he's another sick cunt that I forgot about. Jai, big ups to you, brother.
And now the corona stuff is all lifted and everything is back open. Do you have any shows lined up coming up?
I'm doing my own show at the moment, so we're organising for March. And so we're organised, it's in the works at the moment, so we're doing that. We're going to have some opening acts. It's going to be one hell of a show, obviously. And it's only because like we got good feedback from the show that we did with NME, so they're like, oh, you know, you should do your own, so that's what we're doing.
Right. Let's say if someone, you're organising it, the show? You and your team?
My team, yeah.
Right, and you're getting other artists to come and perform as well?
Yep.
Let's just say hypothetically, you not having an ego, would you invite them back, the Hp Boyz, to come perform with you again? Because you don't have anything bad from your side, you know?
100%. To invite them back, I don't know. It's kind of it's a stick. Obviously, it's the shit go now because I don't fuck with him no more. I don't even think back then I would either. I don't know. To me, no, I wouldn't invite them. I'd invite others, but not them.
Right. Mlbrn is still not bitter, even though it's from Victoria.
100%, brother, always.
Is there anything else you'd like to add on, bro, before we wrap it?
No, I just want to obviously give a shout out to DME for, you know, it's been a while since I come on an interview and explain my story. So I want to shout out to you, brother. Shout out to the SP crew. Shout out to Cheshire, the Grin, and all the team here working. Ryan King, all the boys, my brother, all the boys. That's about it. Appreciate you for the time.
One last question.
Yeah.
Since that show is confirmed, are we getting backstage tickets or what?
Yeah, 100%, brother. If you're willing to fly down, fucking oath, bro. We'll set that up. It's going to be a vibe. I'll tell you now, it's one thing to produce music, but to see a live show, like I'll put on a good show, you know, and I think the viewers can back that. So it's going to be one heck of a show, and I'd obviously love to have DME. That'll be a fucking movie.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some artists out there could have lots of streams but can't sell out a show.
Yeah. And
judging from your previous one they just had, it proves that you actually got a core fan base.
Yeah. Right. And I'm very appreciative of my fan base because they stuck around. And what's happened now is that there's less hate, there's less unlike pushes on the fucking videos, and that's what just makes me feel like fucking if I'm doing something right. But yeah, I just want to show appreciation for everyone that's showing support for my music, and we're only getting started, I feel. So big ups from here.
Right. Appreciate you coming on DME TV, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.